this is pretty typical for St. Johns County, actually. We usually have high voter turnouts. But St. Johns County preparing for what could be its busiest election year ever, they say, driven by rapid growth in the area. Population approximately around 333,000 right now. Vicky Oak saying we could have a potential 90% voter turnout. 90% of the population in St. Johns County. That is a huge number. That's a number you really don't get in many other counties. But we typically have very high voter turnouts.
Yeah. I think it went down last night, though.
Yeah, some people just threw their hands up after last night.
I can't participate in this. Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah. So I guess in the last presidential election, St. Johns County was at 85% voter turnout. That's a huge number still, too. Third highest in the state is where we stood on that. Upcoming election, Oaks is geared up for a potential 90% turnout, driven by not only the presidential race, but also the controversial ballot amendments on recreational marijuana.
Oh, that's a big push.
Yeah. Abortion and making school board races partisan. Oh, that's interesting. That's on the ballot. Making school board races partisan.
Do you know anything about this here? Father Time?
No, I don't think that's necessary.
I think it's an interesting concept because I think a lot of people, the school board got very divisive over the last couple of years after the time we shall not discuss. But parents got more involved, and I think people kind of want to know, because if you were a Republican during COVID, you thought one way, and that echoed in the school board. I mean, that really did echo in the school board. If you were a Democrat, you thought another way. So I think people want to know, okay, when we come down to push and shove, they want to at least have some insight on where you're going to side, where you might be going. I don't know that it's necessary, but I wouldn't mind it.
I can tell you, I think right now, if my calculation's correct, I think we have 3 Republicans and 2 Democrats on the school board.
Okay.
And not saying who's who or what's what, but if we do make this a partisan, it's going to be 100% Republican. And, so, I mean, I think you lose that other voice. I like having the other voice. I like questioning. I am leaning more towards a Republican in a lot of ways, even though people think I'm more liberal than what I actually am. But I like the nonpartisan stuff in local elections.
Yeah.
So, I mean, because right now a Democrat can't be county commissioner. You can't win with the D beside your name.
Okay.
So I like having the ability to question. I mean, the Republican Party's kind of eating it at themselves right now, but it's gonna be an R who's going to be our county commissioner.
But does the city of St. Augustine factor into that at all when we're talking about R&D? Because you look at the St. Augustine City Commission and probably the beach, and I think you probably got more Democrats than Republicans on those boards.
Yeah, they're nonpartisan.
Yeah.
They're nonpartisan. The city's probably close to balance, but it probably leans more Democrat.
I think so.
And it's
hard to tell on the beach, honestly.
And actually, we don't have. I would call them the Blue Dog Democrats. There's more Blue Dog Democrats probably in those positions. And the beach, the beach is also, the mayor out there. I mean, he has some social Democrat, thoughts, but is conservative as far as financial and stuff like that. I think him and I line up very closely in our thoughts. Where he probably has an R beside his name, but he's got some social things that he would lean to the other side on.
Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of society sits. There's really not a place for us. In St. Johns County, you got to have an R by your name to have a voice, but you still, have those social side where you have a caring heart and some of those things. So,
the balance is what you're trying to say here, Joe.
And
Troy.
I think
sorry.
No, that's an insult. That's the worst insult Troy's ever gotten on this show. And we like to pick on Troy.
No,
go ahead, man.
But I mean, with doing it nonpartisan, you are going to get some give and take back and forth. If you in St. Johns County, if you make it partisan, it's all going to be Republican. So, and is that what you really want? And some people, it is.
And to that point, Troy, do you think Republicans would overwhelmingly vote for making the school board partisan. I mean, is that going to play a role in how this goes forward?
I think so.
I think
I
so
think
too,
it probably
yeah.
will.
I think so.
So we may actually see that
Yeah. So get
happen.
get ready for more censored books.
Well, get ready for not giving kids porn too.
No, I agree with 90% of the stuff you got, but I mean it's
Yeah.
going to go deeper.
Mm.
So I like having that counter voice saying, okay, here's the line where we stop instead of pushing it a little bit further.
Yeah.
So I think that's
A clear line.
Yeah, healthy debate from both sides is
Exactly.
always a good thing.
Yeah, of
I mean,
course.
it always is good because you can always, if you have an open mind, and we hope that everybody that is an elected official does, then you can learn from people with different views, and that I think should be where we're striving to get to make sure we're representing all people as adequately as possible.
Yeah.
I
think there's a line out there if you always agree, then only one person's thinking.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, man. Well,